Hey guys, it's Nash.
And it's Maya.
And we're having a lot of trouble sleeping tonight, so we decided to bring forward the battle of the ages when it comes to the toy war, specifically G1 versus Michael Bay. We're not using a G1 toy. We are using Masterpiece Grimlock. In specific,
Masterpiece Grimlock, a Toys R Us exclusive re-release.
yes, and on my side, I kind of got the short end of the stick. Studio Series, Age of Extinction, Grimlock. Both of which are good figures in their own right. I mean, both of these figures are awesome and look great. So we're going to be doing this on a point system. Step 1 is accessories. Maya, please go over Grimlock's accessories.
Well, over here in the G1 accessories,
Masterpiece.
we have his energy sword.
Yep.
Which looks pretty sweet. It's chromed out. It's a translucent clear plastic with some
And you'll
detailing.
see why for that later, the clearness.
I didn't even know there was a gimmick in here.
Yep, you'll see.
Why haven't you ever told me this?
It's kind of lame. Alright.
And his blaster.
The iconic Generation 1 blaster and sword that Grimlock always used. But in my opinion, the most important accessory goes to the
Crown.
You can't have King Grimlock without a crown. Now this one, since it is the re-release, doesn't come with the apron and the helmet and all that stuff. We're using a pretty basic figure.
And look how awesome he looks in his getup.
Oh, he's awesome looking. Undeniably awesome looking. When it comes to this hunk of glorious dry brushed plastic, there are no accessories. He has a mace for a right hand, and that's it. So, point 1, Masterpiece Grimlock, or Generation 1 Grimlock. We're really just trying to see who wins between Michael Bay and G1, and for me, I'm always a G1 fan. That's just who I've been, but she, being a newer fan, she loves Grimlock in every sense of the word, and this was her first Grimlock. I mean, her first Grimlock she bought and loved, so this holds a special place to her. But she's finding out really fast that there's better. Okay, round 2, articulation. Maya, go right ahead.
Well, for articulation, I'm going to take his crown off just to make it a bit easier. For the head.
Oh, wait, quick disclaimer. When I got this figure brand new at Toys R Us many years ago, he was very loose. This isn't a toy I've played with much. He just has some tolerance and QC issues.
And he is very weighty, which makes it another big problem. But as a toy, what can you say? He looks great.
Yeah, great to
He
display.
does have some standing issues, though, being so back heavy with all this hip bowl.
There you saw the leg issue that he has. Loose hips.
Very loose. Anyway, articulation. Into the head. Well, he can look up that far, he can look down that far, and he has a ball joint at the head. Sadly, he can't look directly behind him, which isn't a big deal.
As Jobby the Hong would say, swivel!
Too bad we don't have the editing skills that he does.
Yeah, no kidding.
For the shoulders, there's a button.
You'll see what that's for later. Alright.
There's so many things you haven't told me about this toy.
Keep on going.
He's got a nice big ball joint at the shoulder, which, given his body plates here, you can't do a full 360, but he can move out that far. He has a nice double-hinged elbow, sometimes, sort of.
It is a little tricky
One
to get
click,
going.
but he does have a...
That's what that's for. You'll see later. Stop focusing on it.
He does have a little bit of a 90-degree bend, and because of these are his legs, he does have backward movement as well. Now, for the fists, he has, well, not this one. He has a thumb.
Yeah.
He has a movable thumb for this wrist.
Alright, move to the other side. Well, the back kibble, really quick. If you care about articulation on this sort of thing, back kibble can move up and down and back. And that allows for a 360 degree bend, 360 degree rotation if you move this all the way out of the way. But if you're doing a stop motion video or something, or posing him really crazy like, that's not going to matter.
Now,
the other arm's exactly the same.
Except for the hand has some articulation, the thumb moves, and you get some finger movement as well. Not individual, only one. His index finger right here.
And the other three are connected.
Yes.
Now, lower body.
Lower body. He has a hip swivel.
Waist swivel.
Waist swivel.
This is her first Transformers-esque review, so give her a little slack. I just wanted to get her into
Now,
this world.
moving up the arms, he can kick out that far.
A beautiful spread.
Very beautiful. He can kick back that far and up that far. He
can do the full splits,
He
but
can.
I don't want to put that stress on his hips because they're already so loose.
his knee is on a very tight ratchet.
Tolerance is Hasbro. And
Which can move one click forward.
he also has a good thigh swivel. A really nice thigh swivel. Now the ankle tilt on this is a little weird of a figure. So with the ankle tilt, it doesn't go very far, but it's integrated into this. So you can see this piece actually moving. His heel moves with it. Overall, a really posable figure, but not the most posable. He's not up to like MP10 Prime standards, and as you can see, he is kind of loose.
He is very loose, very, very heavy, and it just makes him have some problems.
Alright, on to Studio Series Grimlock. Head is on a ball joint, so he can look around, not very far. He can look up, barely, down quite a bit due to the transformation joint. Arms can do a 300, if not for those horns, 360 degree rotation. He does have a bicep swivel, and he has a nice bend at the elbow. No articulation on this side. You just missed all that. There, to run it back over. Since this arm is just a mace, nothing there. On this side, he does have a wrist swivel, and exactly the same transformation on that side. This is where this toy annoys me. This hip area is very aggravating. He has this huge hip skirt in the back, which is made out of soft plastic, but he has a diaper. And this diaper, to move anything, you have to flip this up, and you'll have to be able to flip these out in order to get any type of pose out of him. So to move this forward is the only way to get his legs to move anywhere at all. And he can do, he has a pretty good range of motion. But when it is in the general configuration, which is how it's supposed to be, unless you're going for a crazy, crazy pose, that's all you got. And back that far only because of that back skirt. Alright, he does have a thigh swivel, very nice thigh swivel, tight. Bend that far at the knee unless you unjoint it, and then he can kick the back of his head. Going down to the foot, he does have a ball joint at the foot, which allows for some nice ankle pivot, and he also has some toe articulation due to the transformation. Alright, round 3, the paint. I'm not even going to discuss this very much. He has good paint, but the obvious winner is Masterpiece Grimlock. He just looks better. So honestly, it's a tie on articulation. Accessories goes to him, paint goes to him. So it's 2-1 so far. It's anybody's game. Now, transformation is 0.4. We're not going to show the transformations on camera. We don't want to go that in depth. That'll be for a single, solo review sometime in the future. These guys have fun transformations. His is very basic but fulfilling. This one is very, very, very easy. but has some cool tricks integrated. I'm going to consider this one a tie also, just out of the ingenuity used in both. Step 5. That would be Dino modes. So we will be back with you guys shortly with editing magic on what these guys look like in their T-Rex mode. And it's not pretty for this guy. I lost. I'll be back in a minute. With editing magic, we are back for one thing. This is just a gimmick thing. The Age of Extinction Grimlock has nothing, but this Grimlock has this nice little light up feature that you won't be able to see too well. Hit it. It just lights up the sword, and it also lights up the gun. That's why these transparent bits are on there, or translucent, or however you want to refer to them. That's why this hand has no finger articulation. It's just because of that gimmick. There's an LED light located at the very base of his hand. It's a cool little gimmick, but I would have much rather just had another articulated hand. Alright, so back again. We'll be back soon with the Dino modes. Back. Alright, and just like that, we are back for comparison on the T-Rex mode. So without further ado, let's bring them into frame. Alright, I'm going to present mine from an angle because in certain angles he looks terrible. Hands down, without a doubt, this Grimlock wins. Masterpiece Grimlock. For those of you who don't know, in the 80s when Grimlock was perceived, well, it was from Diaclone, scientists and paleontologists thought T-Rex stood straight up. They didn't think that they had this angle to them, and with things going further and further in technology, they found out that this actually is more anatomically correct to a T-Rex. Hands down, I forfeit this round. I don't think that this Grimlock looks that great. If you look from the sides here, just gappy as all hell. This tail does not look good. It's just the mace, literally just the mace, folded out a little bit. You can still see all the spikes. Our cat's coming, so just ignore her. I mean, it's not a bad-looking dinosaur mode by any stretch of the imagination. I truly do like this figure. I just think this one's better. And the price tells that. I mean, $50, $100 now. That's just the way it is. Also, we forgot to mention a lot of die-cast parts on this figure. None on this. He's very lightweight.
Hefty. He is probably, what, 3 pounds?
No, I wouldn't say that. I'd say 1.5 pounds, 2 pounds at most. Good weight, though. Good size figure.
Good weight.
Masterpiece is, you get what you pay for. It's for the more adult collectors. So is this Studio Series. Kids, I feel like if they were to play with the Studio Series Bumblebee, they'd just end up wanting to throw it at a wall. It's very complicated in some areas, and some kids just won't get it. Okay, final category. Gimmicks and articulation in Dino mode. I'm going to go first really quick because mine is quite simple. You can rotate this head because this is just straight up his arm from the robot mode. The baby T-Rex little arms can move on ball joints. They can do a full 360. The jaw can open and close one click. That's it. That's all you get there. The legs can move, but there's not a whole lot of movement to them. They have a very weird knee joint that's... It's just... The knee joint is very odd because it's just straight up the Dino mode leg just folded in and backwards a little bit. The way he looks from the front, that's why I'm not showing him from head on. He has some thunder thighs. Not that this one doesn't, but this one, it just doesn't work as well. So yeah, no articulation of the tail, unfortunately. I mean nothing, unless you count that, but I don't. So without that, I forfeit this round too. Articulation on mine sucks. One thing we did forget to mention for Grimlock, you can change the color of the robot mode eyes, and you can change the color...
Flipping this up, what you do is there is a little dial in here with the eyes, and you pull it out and you just turn it around. One click and
you have to just keep on going until it matches up. And once it does, you can change between blue or red eyes. One is more cartoon accurate, one is more toy accurate. In terms of posability, oh, and the same thing happens in robot mode. There's a switch on the back of his head that can switch his colors from blue to red. Very shiny metallic colors on that mode. I'm sorry we forgot to mention that.
for articulation on this guy, you get a nice head tilt. You get a little bit of a neck turn.
I'll show you what that's for here in a
That's
little
a gimmick.
while.
You can open his mouth.
And there's
And-
a flamethrower.
He has his iconic flamethrower.
Because, you know, what's a T-Rex, a robotic T-Rex that transforms that doesn't shoot fire out of its mouth?
With his arms, he is on a ball joint at the shoulder. And he has an elbow joint. Also, all three of his little fingers are individually moving.
Yeah, they're all on just one sprue that is not interconnected, so they can move individually of themselves.
And the weight in this guy is all in his tail. That's all where it is.
And his feet. These feet are made of die cast.
Most of it's in his tail.
Yeah, there's a
So-
lot of weight just going throughout him.
And for the legs, he's got the ball joint at the legs, so he has.
It's exactly
a
the
nice-
same as the robot mode
Yes.
arm, because that's all it is.
And that.
One other thing is he does have these claws that can move in and out. That's just for preference on the robot mode. If you like him down, like him up, it's up to you. Now, this is what I was wanting to get into. She doesn't exactly know this, and this gimmick is kind of a little sketchy with this guy. So, the tail can move. I mean, easily, the tail can move.
This way.
Okay. Sorry. It's very late and I'm very tired. The tail can move this way. You know, nothing too special there. But what is cool is if you move the tail back and forth, it doesn't work that well. That's why I don't like this gimmick at all. But if you move the tail back and forth, he'll shake his head. Hey, it's actually working for once. And I just think that's kind of cute. Posability, Grimlock. So, I had 2 points. Maya had 6. It was a tie on 2 categories, and everything else goes to Masterpiece Grimlock, hands down. The superior figure, the superior line, the superior show, the superior movie, everything about G1. I am a G1 fan. I love everything Transformers. I do like the Michael Bay movies, but I love the toys. I think the toys are great. Not a big fan of the designs on a lot of them, but you know, they're fun. But there's nothing that can go wrong with this beautiful rendition of Grimlock. Grimlock was always an awesome and iconic character from the 80s. Made it through G1. He was, well, there was a character called Dinobot in Beast Wars, but they were also brought back in Transformers Animated. They were in Transformers Energon, and then finally in the Michael Bay Transformers films. Their appearances and attitudes have changed through the decades that Transformers have been around. However, nothing will ever beat the dim-witted nature and brute force of the Dinobots. I'm not going to go into comics, but, you know, the Lightning Strike Coalition, they are just so cool to Transformers lore. They're some of my favorite characters. And if you can pick up a Masterpiece Grimlock or a third-party Masterpiece Grimlock or any Grimlock, really, for a reasonable price, I say go for it. Even this guy. This is a good figure. He displays well and he's fun to play with. With these guys, you have to worry a lot about damaging them because of all the paint and all the chrome. With this, you can, you know, you can have fun with it. You don't have to worry.
You don't have to worry about paint chipping because you don't have all of that solid paint that this guy has with all the red details, the translucent details, the chrome details.
The beautiful painted, not painted, but these awesome just little details all down in the red, blue, green. It's just, everything on him pops, and it's awesome to see that big, beautiful Autobot sign. I don't even think there is an Autobot sign on this guy. That's probably because Optimus whooped his ass in Age of Extinction. Yeah, overall, guys, Masterpiece Grimlock or anything of the sort, great figure, lots of fun, and a great addition to any collection, guaranteed. Sweetheart, is there anything else you'd like to add?
These two guys have been fun to play with. This guy does have his issues. He's got his kibble, he's got his weight, but he's still super fun. Even though I get a little ticked with all of his flopping kibble, because it makes me mad.
He's still a good figure. See, like that, he just falls.
And with this guy, yeah, he looks a little derpy, but look at this head sculpt.
Oh yeah, he's much
With
more
the
affordable
horns.
too.
Yes, he is.
And these are more kid-friendly, you know, soft rubber plastic on all
the
of
points.
every point on here. Soft rubber. Soft rubbery plastic, anyway. Sorry, our cat talks a lot.
She yells.
She wakes us up all the time. That's kind of why we're here right now. So yeah, guys, with that being said, I think we have concluded that Generation 1 Grimlock in any iteration beats the Michael Bay Grimlocks. And he also beats the Energon Grimlock, because that's a terrible toy that should never be spoken about. With that being said, guys, I am Nash.
I am Maya.
And thank you so much for coming to the Jurassic Ark.